for daily bread. The Roman Empire ran the Mediterranean world in Jesus' day, so the mention of daily bread would have made his original listeners think of the empire's unjust rule over them. In their time, access to bread determined who lived and who died. So Jesus' prayer was meeting them in the shadow of Rome, where bread played a role in manipulation, a fight for control, and survival. Since 123 BC, the Roman government had been providing a free daily grain allowance, called the annona in Latin, to its citizens living in Rome. This daily bread not only ensured food security for the urban population, but also served as a political tool to curry favor with the people and maintain control. It was a good deal if you were Roman. If you weren't, not so much. Cunning politicians realized that the fastest way to secure and maintain power was to keep people fed and entertained. So they not only distributed free grain, but also sponsored violent spectacles, chariot racing, gladiatorial combat, beast hunts, and the public devoured it all with glee. Well-fed and distracted, Roman citizens were more likely to turn a blind eye to injustice and abuse. As long as the empire met their basic needs and kept the games coming, most believe Rome was doing a good job. This continued beyond Jesus' time, and by AD 100, the Roman poet Juvenal had seen enough. Disgusted by what the empire had become, he coined the phrase bread and circuses. The people, he said, had traded their civic and moral virtue for food and fun. That's the kind of empire that was ruling the province of Judea, where Jesus' original listeners lived. As Rome prioritized keeping their people fed, it couldn't grow enough grain to keep up with demand. So it took what it needed from provinces like Egypt, Asia, and Judea. Every year, the empire imported between 200,000 and 400,000 tons of grain, with approximately 1,700 shiploads coming from Egypt alone. Egypt became known as the breadbasket of Rome, and when supply ran short, Judea, along with other provinces, was forced to make up the difference. Many of the people listening to Jesus knew what it was like to go hungry so the Romans could eat. In other words, for Rome to get its daily bread, others had to go without. The Roman monopoly on grain was so total, it even showed up in their language. They called the Mediterranean Sea Mare Nostrum, our sea. Not ours in the shared communal sense, ours as in ours to control, ours to take. But Jesus envisioned a radically different kind of kingdom, one where bread wasn't hoarded, power wasn't used to exploit, and provision wasn't extracted at others' expense. So when he taught his disciples to pray, "Give us this day our daily bread," he wasn't just inviting them to trust God for their needs. He was calling them to resist the illusion that the empire is the source of provision and stability. In essence, don't look to Rome to meet your needs. Look to your Father in heaven.